Good morning and welcome. It is my great personal honor to be here today and to be introducing an exceptional person for an exceptional congressional district. When I first read in the Grand Rapids Press that Steve was considering entering the race for Congress, I literally yelped for joy. Like many others, I had spoken to Steve about this possibility some time ago, not knowing, of course, when the day would come when the venerable Congressman Vern Ehlers would retire, and hoping that day would not be coming anytime soon, but I wasn't at all confident that Steve would consider running. So when I read his name in the mix, I just dashed off a note to him and to Brenda, and I took it to the post office so that he would know my support was immediate and wholehearted. And I also added that there would be someone in that great cloud of witnesses that would be rejoicing should he decide to run. I remember my first real conversation with Steve, sitting next to him at an event for Paul, and how impressed I was with the breadth and the depth of him, and how touched I was by his compassion and tenderness, even at a time of difficulty for him and for Brenda during their daughter's illness. He had time for his words of high praise for Jim Fauner and his leadership of the pediatric oncologist at Butterworth. And so as soon as I got back to my office at Butterworth, I called Jim to pass along Steve's remarks, as if he did not already know of the personal qualities that I was describing. From that point on, I have followed this person in his life of public service in this community. He has been a leader and a star in each of his roles. He has been a model citizen leader who, while doing his day job, offered his leadership skills for public service and for the best of reasons to improve our community. Paul always believed he represented the most thoughtful district in the nation, and would never label it as others might. He would say thoughtful, rather than conservative or liberal or anything in between. He would say, this district needs to be represented by someone respectful of all points of view, that listens to all points of view, that works with all points of view, that is capable of understanding the complexities of issues and of the bills before Congress, a person of conscience, conviction, and character. One who is articulate and wise, knowledgeable, strong, principled, and seasoned as a leader, a person who brings great credit and distinction both to our district and to our state. Such a person is Steve Heacock, one very close to Paul's heart, mind, and life. Ladies and gentlemen, for a district and for an office that is very close to my heart, it is my distinct honor and joy to introduce to you the one I will be supporting and for whom I will be working to occupy that office. A most worthy successor, Steve Heacock.
Wow, I'm delighted, and I've got to tell you, if Paul Henry were alive and with us today, we'd be celebrating not one former president, but two from this district. Such a man of tremendous character and talent, and really, I greatly appreciate that. Karen, I appreciate you and your friendship so much. Thank you for those words. I am here today to announce my candidacy for Congress. So thank you all for coming. I do have some words I want to share. Frankly, I'm tired of complaining. and looking at what others might do, and decided that I needed to contribute what I could, all that I could, to make this country better. And I feel like this is the position that I need to be in to do that, representing this community and this region. You know, I stand here an unapologetic optimist. I sincerely believe in democracy. I believe that there is a power and a rightness in people, and that the trick is to make certain that there's a direct connection between the people and government, and that in fact it is representative but held accountable to the needs and the desires of the people. And I think we can get there. I believe we can do that, and that we can make that happen. It's a government that demands that we treat all people equally. It's a government that demands that we preserve and hold secure our precious constitutional rights and personal liberties. It is a good government, and one that can work. But it needs good people, and it needs people committed to that cause. Honestly, I believe that the growing federal bureaucracy infringes on those freedoms. It has a way of creeping into our lives and taking over what we might do otherwise. It pushes aside the local solutions and private sector innovations. It smothers, really, the voice of the people and our ability to gather together locally and determine how we want to solve our problems. And this community is a hallmark of how that can be done, and really representative of a model that can be presented around the world, let alone our own country. Government must work for us, not the other way around. As Mitt Romney recently said in his book, he said that I don't wish challenges and harm on this nation, although I think that overcoming those challenges and harm, in fact, have helped us become a better people and better country. He said, but neither do I fear them. And his concern, as he wrote in his book, is that his sole concern is that people will not take action, that they'll not face challenges head on, that they'll not overcome those problems. And I agree with him. We cannot let fear and anger get in the way of overcoming the challenges that we have. We have focused on what unites us rather than divides us. And by doing that, we've created something spectacular. And we've beaten the state, and we've been consistent with the country in economic development and how we're going to go forward. And frankly, just look around. When you look at what you're looking at, between the arena and the convention center and Millennium Park and the Van Andel Institute and the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital and the Lemon Holden Center and the Meyer Heart Center, these things were created not because they were assigned to us from federal government, but because the local community rose up. Private and public got together, made it happen. And it's spectacular. And it's given us an economic situation that is envious by others. And so we need to continue that push. And I believe the congressman has a say in that. I believe there's more than one responsibility in being a congressman. And one of them is holding a mantle of leadership here in the local community and helping those efforts continue and to move on. And it's an important role, and one that I will take seriously, and I view, frankly, as an extension of the community service I've provided to date. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not a career politician. I can assure you this isn't a good career move. I am an experienced healthcare, business, and community leader with training in the law and in accounting. And I believe in free markets. I believe in limited government. I believe in the West Michigan social and moral values. The bottom line is, I believe in this democracy, and I'm just a citizen standing before you, asking to become your citizen representative in the United States Congress in what is the best country in the world. So thank you all for being here.